Hey, this is Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach. And the conversation I want to share with you today is how to add a table of contents to your YouTube videos manually. Now, I use Camtasia for all my recordings, and I'm using Camtasia for this recording right now. Camtasia has the ability, when I'm editing it, to add a marker, and on the markers I can give them a name, and I can basically, when I upload the video to YouTube, then I can, as a little checkbox that says turn markers into table of contents. However, I don't always do it that way. Sometimes what I do is I save the video off to a local file, and then I upload the local file to YouTube, depending upon what I'm trying to achieve in other parts of the process. So sometimes I have to put the table of contents, or want to put the table of contents, into my YouTube video manually. And this is how you do that. So here's a video that I have that I just uploaded. I'm in my YouTube studio. I'm going to hit edit this video. So you can see this is my standard description that I have not, I always, I had this right here, upload 2 lines. So I have this default text that I upload, but I want to put a table of contents. So you start with that, just to let the viewer know there is a table of contents. Now I've got to update the title and all that. I know that, but I'll get to that later. What I want to do is show you how to do the table of contents. Start with the term, table of contents, so they know there's one there. Has to be in the first or second line. Then go over here to your video and start playing it.
Hey, this is Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach.
And you can look for the area, find the area that you want to find where you want the first table of contents entry.
Let's go to part 1.
Okay, so part 1, I said that at 47 seconds. So what I'll do is over here, I'll put 0:47, part 1. And then go find the next table of contents entry.
Part 2.
Part 2 is at 1 minute, probably about 22 seconds. So 1:22, part 2. Now let's find part 3. All right, so part 3 is at 1 minute 57 seconds. And I think there's a part 4. So part 4 starts at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And that's all I have to do. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go play this. Now if I pause it, if I scroll down here, you'll see there's my first line with my table of contents right there. But look here under show more. It'll jump to 47 seconds. It just jumped it. And look down here, if I click on 122, it jumps to 122, 157. Part 3, it jumps to 157. And then if I click on 2 minutes and 40, it'll jump to part 4, which is at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So I came back to YouTube Studio just to give you just a few more tips that can help you be more efficient building your table of contents manually. Here's a couple of them. Number 1 is storyboard this. However you storyboard. For me, my storyboard is basically a text list of each section that I'm going to do in my video, telling me what I'm going to build as I build it. So when you storyboard it, what I recommend you start doing, as I'm going to start doing, is that when I have a break, I'm going to list TOC, table of contents, dash, and then the name of that table of contents entry. So that I'm clear what I'm going to build, and I'm also clear on the text that I'm going to use in my table of contents entry. Second thing I recommend is that you have a small gap, maybe a second, about a second. And so that you are clear that when you see that small gap in your, or hear that small gap in your video, that you know what's going to go there. And so then you can split that gap out at your table of contents entry, and that'll lead a half a second before the viewer hears you state what this section is going to be. So that when you're recording, you're gonna have that small gap, and then you're gonna state that this part is whatever that it's about. For me, it might be this part is how to edit your name on your LinkedIn profile. Or for me, it might be a small gap, and then I state this part is how you enter a new volunteer section to your LinkedIn profile. So I'll have that in my table of contents, and I will state that when they start listening to my video, when they go to that table of contents entry. And the fourth idea that I have is that when you're building your table of contents manually, what you're going to want to do is after you've entered it in and you hit save, go listen to the video. Listen to it completely and click on each table of contents entry and make sure that it's consistent, it's smooth. Make sure that there's a part of a second before they hear you state this section is about XYZ. Reviewing and testing it can really help you make sure that it's smooth and it works well for the listener. I'm Teddy Burris, your LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach, and I hope this conversation about YouTube table of contents is helpful for you.